During World War II, women were train drivers, they were stokers, they were bus drivers, they built bridges.
Mothers went and worked both in factories making armaments and stuff, on the railways, in jobs that it was never envisaged that they would ever do.
More women are coming into industry every day, and much more varied are their jobs. Indeed, today, women are tackling jobs that were thought impossible a few years ago.
As soon as the war was over, we didn't need those women anymore. Those jobs became men's jobs again. Women are, generally speaking, kind of crowded into certain sectors of the economy. Those, generally speaking, are more lowly paid than lots of other jobs that people might be doing. And so one of the things that's important is to enable women, those women who want to move out of those areas or to upskill in those areas. The Women and Work Commission calculated that the economy was losing between 15 and 23 billion pounds a year because of women being underutilised out there. So it's not sensible for the economy, it's not sensible for families. If women get, half a leg up, so to speak, then they'll get on with it and make a good job of it.
It's an important issue because we see in other countries that women are represented at every single level. And so the question is, why can't that be the way in the UK? In the sector that I work in, which is rail and construction, we find very few women. The number of women is, in some areas, as low as 7%. In some areas, it's actually 0. Since the Women in Work initiative kicked off a couple of years ago, we've actually seen some changes in a number of areas where women were previously underrepresented. So we now see women driving trains, driving trucks, driving buses. We see more women in agriculture. We see more women owning their own businesses and actually starting up their own businesses as entrepreneurs.
The skill I've been doing is building a new website for the business, which I think is an important part of the business for us. I do think the Women in Work initiative is good, and if it can encourage females into other areas of work, like agriculture, then it's good.
I hit rock bottom really last year. Here I was with 2 children to bring up, all on my own, mortgage, bills to pay, and the worst time to become unemployed, right in the middle of a recession. I didn't think for a minute that I could drive a bus. And now I'm earning twice the money that I was earning before. The Women and Work initiative has enabled me to learn the skills that are necessary to become a bus driver. I've now got a career and occupation that will carry me through till I retire at 65. I just could have seen myself losing everything this year if it hadn't been for the government scheme. And at times like this, when it's a recession, you really have to take all the opportunities you can get. And this government scheme sent me a lifeline.
If you look back and say, well, if it was okay in the 1940s for women to be able to do these kinds of jobs that everybody thought only a man could do, when they were rather more physically arduous, why isn't it okay now?
In terms of the current economic climate, it's even more important. Not only because women need to get the jobs that are going, and they're far and few between, but also when we come out of the downturn, we do want to make sure that the opportunities are there both for women and for men. And those with the greatest skill levels will actually stand a better chance of getting the jobs when we come out of the recession.
For those women who feel that they are underutilised and that they could be doing something more interesting and more remunerative, the Women and Work Sector Skills Pathway Initiative is a really good initiative for them. They should look up the website ukces.org.uk and they'll find all the information there, and hopefully they'll be able to take things forward.